Coach.
Al to come out, give them a touchdown on the first drive, and then just play uphill all night. Just how disappointing was that, in this game to have to, put yourself in that position?
Disappointing, Tim. That's their MO in terms of Pitt. If they can play with a lead, they're tough, and we let them do that. They had field position on us all night, and they converted their chances, starting with that first third down. It ended up being a big play, and then a couple plays later they ran it in. So you're exactly right. That was disappointing that they came out, and we need to respond a little bit better, and we did not.
Did you see this coming at all?
No. I mean, again, if you look at the line, I mean, they had 60 plays for 360. We had 73 for 421. They made more plays than we did. They had a shorter field than we did. Our kickoff coverage was not good. Theirs was outstanding. We're just not getting. We're not getting it deep enough, like their guy was doing to us. It was always -2, -3, and they made us pay with that. And even when we answered in the beginning of the third quarter, we kick off and then they start. I think on our 40.
Al, sorry.
Could be.
Al, do you think this team is more talented than the record you guys finished up with?
Again, we're responsible for the record. At the end of the day, I'm responsible for the record. Obviously, I feel like we have a lot of guys on our team. Clyde, Duke, Denzel, that are chasing elite. And maybe we haven't had that for a while. But overall, as a team, we need to perform better, and that's my responsibility. We are what our record is, period. And so I'm disappointed.
Elliot, 5 for 5 in the red zone, 5 touchdowns. In your eyes, does that come down to up front, the battle in the trenches?
Yeah, we didn't stop them enough on third down. I think they were 50% on third down, Matt. We didn't get any takeaways, and then it was a short field. So when you play a team like this, it's a little bit like playing Georgia Tech in that you got to make them go long field. So if they're going to play like that, they need to try to get 3 or 4 more first downs. It gives you more opportunities because that's how they play the game. And again, they converted down there, and we just needed one stop. And then on the other end, we just needed to make one more play in the red zone. We did not.
How did this team become divided in the last couple of weeks?
No.
Splintered or anything like that?
No. I mean, I think there's frustration, but that we have a lot of guys that worked hard, and a lot of guys that been through a lot, and a lot of guys that want to win. So I wouldn't say, Tim, that that's accurate or fair. I think I don't think it's divided. I think it's there's some frustration, and obviously we have John and Shane and those guys that have been around a really long time, 50-year guys, and they're playing next to Herndon and Kaya and Trevor Darlin and everything. So there's there's guys at different stages in their career, but no, I don't think it's splintered.
What is the schedule now? Next week is to evaluate staff and things like this?
Yeah, number one, just get the team healed up, and then from our standpoint, just we have to go out recruiting right away, and then obviously we'll find out where our ball assignment is, and we'll go from there.
What's your message as you hit the recruiting trail?
There's again, my message right now. I mean, honestly, right now, I'm really disappointed in our performance tonight and how we played. Obviously, we think there's still a lot of positives. It would be fruitless for me to talk about it right now, to be honest with you. It would be fair.
Yeah, one viewpoint, and certainly not an excuse, but there was so much invested emotionally and physically in the Florida State game, and the performance of the team clearly, took a massive drop after that loss. And coaches always talk about, don't let one loss turn into two, or in this case, possibly three. But have you seen a difference in the team since that night?
I think, Gary, I think obviously as a coach, that's one of the things that that I have to evaluate, that I have to look closely at. You know, going back to that, certainly we did invest a lot, but it's easy, as I said during the week, it's easy to just, you know, paint a brush and say that's the reason. But certainly that's one of the things that I will evaluate personally. And but in terms of our kids practicing and mindset and things like that, I haven't noticed a difference. So.
How serious is the injury with Clive?
I think he'll be okay. I think again, I wish I knew. I wish I knew if the X-rays came back negative, but it sounded like it was going to be okay.
Now, as a coach, how hard do you foresee it being turning these guys around, you know, emotionally and psychologically and also on the field?
Well, I think we'll definitely turn around. I don't think there's any question about that, Susan. I just think, you know, it's hard. It's hard because you got different, like I said, you got different classifications, you know, that you're dealing with, and there's a lot of guys that obviously played a lot of football tonight, like Chris Herndon and guys like that, Brady, and with that, yeah, they got to stay positive. And some of the older guys, we just need them to stay positive and finish what they started and continue to improve and try to get us our first win in forever in a bowl game.
Does it seem like you have a few elite guys and then a lot of guys who are basically getting their first real crack at playing? Does it seem like there's any in between on your roster between the guys who are going to play on Sundays and the guys who are kind of just starting out?
I think, you know, that's what makes it a little bit difficult. There's no question about it. You know, but again, I want to make sure I'm answering the question. Are you talking about age or?
Oh man, it just seems like there's two extremes. There's the Duke, Clive, Kaya level of player, and then there's kids, and Kaya being, of course, the exception. And then there's a lot of kids who probably weren't on the first line of your depth chart 8 months ago who are on the field right now too.
Yeah, again, I think.
Does it almost have like a year one feel to it a little bit in that regard?
Tim, honestly, in terms of that, we didn't play well enough tonight. You know, in terms of the big picture, you know, I'm just trying to get everybody better. I think, you know, I don't think any of us sat here in spring ball and thought we were going to be playing with a freshman right tackle or a freshman quarterback. That's the hand that's how it evolved. You know, at the end of the day, we didn't play well enough to beat Pitt. So. I just don't want to get into excuses or rationalization or anything like that. I think at the end of the day, we're responsible for every player on the team and how they perform in every position in every unit. And I think we all know there was some challenges there, but nothing that would alleviate not playing better tonight.
What happened with the 2 third downs on the drive where they went up 12, the PI on Artie, and then the offside where you had Connor stopped at the 1? How did you get an explanation what happened on those plays?
Again, the PI, you know, those are always, for me, you know, I have to look at the film. It's always difficult, but they just said they had him for a holding. I don't think it would have been. I don't think it would have been PI because I didn't think it was catchable. And then somebody lined off offsides. I didn't get a number or anything, but we were offsides on that.
Heading into the bowl game, you know, obviously Badgley, you know, had some kicks tonight. But aside from that, where do you rate the special teams performance right now, and what can you change going into?
Well, we're struggling with our kickoff coverage. We're not driving the ball deep enough. We're not giving our guys enough time to cover, and we're not hanging it up right now. So I tried both kickers again today. Pitt did a better job than we did in that department. You know, overall, I think Vogel's had a very productive year for us. our return game our return game is something that we're going to have to really sit down and look at here and work on a lot before the bowl game. We haven't had an explosive return, and that's disappointing.
Last question, guys.
Coach, can you talk about what Duke was able to accomplish tonight? Cracking those hands.
Yeah. Again, I just wish it was a better environment to celebrate what he has accomplished, because I think it's extraordinary. I really do. And for him to do it in the time frame that he's done it makes it really unique for him. So he's a unique young man. Grateful for the opportunity to coach him every day, and obviously the way he's responded and the way he's accepted coaching and changed a lot of little things in his game to be as productive as he has been this year, and he deserves it.
Great. Thank you, Coach.